word, son? What it do, YouTube? It's your boy J DiVine. What it do, everybody on these other platforms, man? It's your boy J DiVine, just DiVine, J DiVine. It don't even make a difference. I'll answer to either or. Welcome to Ep.7 of the Just DiVine podcast. Glad y'all are back, man. I missed y'all. Got a few things to talk about, man. I think this episode might not be too long. You know what I'm saying? Nothing really popped out. That was like that interesting. But like I said, man, we want to try to make this thing. We want to make this the best podcast, this best episode of this podcast as we possibly can. Today's date is February 22nd, 2022. Make sure you sit back, chill, take a pee break. If you're watching this on YouTube, pause the video, get you some popcorn because you know how I do. Everywhere else, man, pause the podcast, the episode, do whatever you got to do, get you some popcorn because you definitely know how I do. But without further ado, man, let's get up into it. Let's see. First things first on the list. I want to talk about a story that popped up just recently. I'm not too sure exactly how recent this incident was. There was this story, and I'm paraphrasing. I didn't really get all the specific details about the names and whoever, but I believe I'm trying to think. I got the details, but I didn't really put it in my notes like that. But I believe it was a brother, a young brother. He was falsely accused of rape and spent 16 years behind bars, and just recently he was exonerated or let go and had all charges dropped, and he was released after being wrongfully accused of rape. And the woman who accused him of rape had said, she basically apologized. You know what I'm saying? So with her apologizing, after 16 years, man, an apology doesn't cut it. You know what I'm saying? Apology isn't enough. That's 16 years of your life that you cannot get back. You know what I mean? Like, you spent all that time behind bars, bro. 16 years, that's a lot of time to be lost. And that's the most valuable thing to man and woman. It doesn't matter who you are. Time is the most expensive thing in the world. So I was reading that and I just thought that I was like, wow, I was like, that's unfortunate. You know what I mean? And it makes you think of the people who has been accused of rape and had to settle that time, and they weren't guilty, but they had to sit that time out and register as a sex offender and all kinds of stuff, man. And with that being said, it brings me to this guy I know, you know what I mean? And he almost had the same similar fate. And my homeboy, I knew him since I still talk to him every here and then, you know what I mean? During we was in school, I didn't really talk to him that often because, just for the simple fact of, we were just on opposite ends of the school. I didn't really talk to him like that. And I remember when I was working at UPS, and he was one of the people that came through as one of the new hires and whatnot. So I seen him, I was like, yo, what's up, so-and-so? Dabbed him up, and, we chit-chat, stuff like that, because he remembered that we went to school, you know what I mean? So, like I said, he was a mad cool dude. And, once I quit UPS, pretty much, some time went on, and we ended up reconnecting on PlayStation, you know what I mean? Ended up playing 2K and stuff like that. I remember, saying like, yo, what's up? What you been into? Saying he was into like, I don't say he was into a lot of shit, but he had moved because he's originally from Texas, and he moved to a different state, somewhere down south. And he moved, and he told me, he felt confident in me because that I'm not a real judgmental person, and I believe that people have things that happen to them in their lives. And, I understand it. So I'm not the one to judge all the time like other people would. So he told me basically that there was this girl that he was seeing, and the girl told him that she was 19, or so he thought. And come to find out that the girl was actually 16. Mind you, they had sex and everything. And it was consensual. It wasn't nothing like, he forced her or nothing like that. It was nothing like that. And, it was consensual, and then come to find out the girl actually lied about her age. And of course, once because he was, of course, like, if I'm 26 If I'm 26, he had to have been like maybe a year older than me or maybe a year younger than me. But either way, the girl was underage. You know what I'm saying? And you couldn't really tell that because of just how the girl looked. She didn't act or look like her age. You know what I mean? So he got hit with one of those. And he would have had to register as a sex offender and the whole nine. But the only reason why he didn't have to register as a sex offender or all the stuff that was brought against him was dropped was because the girl came out and admitted that she lied about her age. So I think that there's a certain age of consent in Texas, and the parents have to approve. Of course, the parents didn't approve, but there's a certain age in Texas where it's like, if she's underage and the parents consent to it, it's okay. They can't put no charges on it, which I think is kind of sick, but to each their own. I don't really fuck with that. So I saw that and I thought about him and his story and then just the other stories of men being accused of rape and they don't have anybody to help back them up, because you got some people that know that that's an outing that can immediately just fuck you up. You got some people that are evil like that and they will do shit like that. I think Ezekiel Elliott was almost like getting some shit like that. You know what I mean? Like there's plenty of athletes that have gotten, I guess you could say, blackmail with that false accusation. You know what I'm saying? And then at the same as that time, on the flip side of that, let's not also lose sight of the ones that really have gotten raped, women that really have gotten raped, and they wait till a later date to the point where it's like it's questionable. You know what I'm saying? And please do not get me wrong. Do not get me wrong. I understand that it's a traumatic thing. It's a very, very traumatic thing, and it's hard for you to come out at first that you were sexually assaulted or raped. Whichever title you want to throw on it. I'll say rape, but it's very difficult to come out at that time when it happens because you're scared. You know what I mean? There's a lot of emotions that are going on. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to tell because other issues might arise or people might come after you, or you're just in fear for your life. You don't want to make that chance or take that risk and make that decision as to I'm gonna turn this person in. You don't know what to do. You have so many things running around in your mind. You have some women that growing up, they were, their mom had got remarried again, and then the guy was molesting them at a young age, and sometimes the moms don't believe him. You know what I mean? And it's crazy. It's so crazy to me. You know what I mean? And but back to the whole women who wait a while before they report it. Ladies, you have got to come forward faster. You have to. You know what I mean? And I don't want to turn this into a victim shaming thing, because that is not what this is about. You know what I mean? But I think the sooner you come forward, the better. You understand what I'm saying? I see so many stories now where you got people like Trey Songz talking about. I mean, you got people that are coming out saying, "Oh, Trey Songz sexually abused them." Listen, I don't know anything of these people. I don't know anything. You know what I mean? Only thing we can do is take what they say with a grain of salt until more details come forth. That's how I perceive it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know what exactly is going on. I know Keke Palmer spoke up about that one time before. I don't think she has anything to lie about. At least I don't think so. You know what I mean? But like I said, I can only take what these people say with a grain of salt unless more details arise. You know what I mean? So, like it's easier said than excuse me. It's easier said than done than to just say, "Oh, you need to come forth faster so we can go and take care of that problem." So, some people wait later on to bring it up and break the story. You know what I mean? And first question is, why didn't you say anything earlier? And of course the response is, I was scared. I didn't know what to do. You know what I mean? So, if you or anybody that is actually, dealing with this, step forward. You know what I mean? Like, let somebody know, go through the proper channels and do that. You know what I mean? Because, the longer you wait, the more questionable your story is. And you might be telling the God honest truth. But the longer you wait to break that to somebody or tell law enforcement or somebody, the longer you wait, the more questionable and the more unbelievable it's going to look. So like I said, if you ever have experienced anything like that, now's the time for you to step up. You know what I mean? Like, women should really be stepping forth. But at the same as that time, the ones who use that as a way to try to ruin somebody's life, they need to be held accountable for that. Just like that lady who needs to be held accountable for the guy who spent 16 years in prison only after to find out that she actually lied about it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that, I really think that people should be held accountable for doing shit like that. Because that's not cool, man. That's 100% not cool. And to anybody who hears this right now, I just want to say this, because I'm pretty sure somebody one day is going to find this episode and try to spin it and make it sound like I'm trying to victim shame, or I'm some goofy ass coin phrase that they've been using on social media. You know, people will say, oh, another man in a woman's business, and look at him trying to victim shame and victim blame, and that's why men can't. Let me tell you right now, shut the fuck up and stay away from me, because I'm not the one to sit here and try to reason with someone who feels like who has this radical thought, and I'm using the word radical for a reason, have this radical thought that men should be X, Y, and Z and women should be X, Y, and Z, and that's that. You know what I'm saying? I'm probably one of the most honest people on this podcast, the most transparent person on this podcast right about now. At least I try to keep it transparent. You know what I mean? I see it from both sides, not just only the side that's the hot topic. I don't play that game. So if that's how your mindset is set, please stay the fuck away from me and don't say shit else. Don't say shit to me. Don't say nothing to me. Because I don't talk to people like that. I don't do the whole, well, men do blah, 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 and women should blah, 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 blah. I don't play that game. Please stay the fuck away from me. Moving along, into something a little bit more lighter. Yo, Esports Boxing Club, man. I really want to shed a little bit of light on these guys, G. Like, these guys, Steel City Interactive, and I think the other one's 1024. Yo, they've really been picking up some steam, man. Like, for real. I got it on my wish list on Steam right now, or probably after this podcast I'm gonna check. But yeah, man. Steel City Interactive and 1024, like, Esports Boxing Club is really going to be something. And one of the videos that I posted about Esports Boxing Club, I know that they said that they were approached by EA and he turned them down, and they gave a reasoning behind it. I don't know. I got to find it. I really want to read more up on that. But yeah, I really think that Esports Boxing Club is really going to put boxing back on the map. Because tell you the truth, man, I'm tired of UFC. I'm just so sick of UFC, man. UFC 4, I play it. You know, I really don't. I don't care for it enough to say that, oh yeah, this is one of the best games. UFC 4 is terrible. I'm gonna go flat out and say it. You know, just going down the line, it's like UFC 4 has great footwork. I love the footwork, but at the same exact time, it can be a curse. You know, I noticed that people will move at the same speed going forward and backwards. Like, if the ring was bigger and you try to you know, walk me down per se, you wouldn't be able to do that, because for some strange reason, backing up and going forward is literally the same speed. So if I'm backing up and you're walking towards me, you will never catch me unless you do the whole jab thing where you would you would shorten up the range. But you know, and then at the same exact time, speaking about range, y'all don't respect range. I've seen so many times where a guy would throw a jab at me, right? And knowing the fact that I'm out of the way of it, like, I shouldn't even have to be moving my head, but I'll see them sometimes shifting forward, sliding back, and not on like no maneuver type shit, but it's like you'll have them constantly shifting forward and back because y'all can't really determine the range. You know, sometimes shots won't land on purpose, or shots will be thrown at an awkward way, or they'll purposefully make me miss a shot because the way my fist is turned when I throw a hook. Or, you know, UFC 4 is just bad. It's poorly built, man. I can't get with it. You know, UFC 2 is probably my last favorite UFC. EA Sports UFC 2 is probably the last UFC that was probably my favorite. I mean, one of the things that stood out the most to me out of it was the ragdolls. Like, the ragdoll knockouts were great. I loved it. Like, they were so... They captured the environment of UFC practically well just off the ragdolls alone. You know what I mean? I can't tell you how many times I've seen a guy just go limp after I land a hook, and it was he was trying to like throw some sort of like, I don't know, some sort of uppercut or something, or just either way, like I was positioned better and I landed a shot on him and you just saw him just drop to the ground like just like a limp noodle. You know what I mean? Pause if that's pause worthy. But, I've seen stuff like that in UFC, and UFC 2 really brought that out of me. You know what I mean? It really brought that atmosphere out. You know what I mean? When I saw that. So I remember when the UFC 2 beta came out, and my God, I played that extensively. Like, you can tell me like that I wasn't playing UFC 2 the game. Like, even though it was a beta, I was still playing it extensively. You can tell me nothing. You know what I mean? But once we leave UFC 2, they go to UFC 3 and they take like 3 steps back. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I get the whole idea of, footwork being better. I was like, okay, that's cool. But then we start getting into controls being a little bit more complex now. Now there's different button combinations to go to the body or go up top or trying to transition and stop this transition. Like, it started getting kind of complex at that point. And then, they did away with the ragdolls in UFC 3, and then they slowly started to bring it back in UFC 3 after they realized that, people were clowning them. People were clowning them based off of the lack of ragdolls that UFC 3 had back in the lack of ragdolls that UFC 3 had versus UFC 2. And when I look back on it now, I'm just like, wow, like, you guys just don't know a good thing until you mess it up. And it baffles me sometimes, but then again, it's EA we're talking about. Like, we shouldn't really expect too much from them people, but I just hate that every time something good gets made, y'all have the ability to tear it down. Like, I can't stand it. I hate it. You know what I mean? But Esports Boxing Club, man, like, I'm really glad where they are right now. I'm really glad to see boxing coming back. You know what I mean? Fight Night Champion was probably like the last fight night that I ever put in all my time and effort into. Like, I used to come home from school and at least put in at least 5 fights. I was top 100 in the world and top 100 in the country. I remember when I was really like putting in work, like, I think in the country, I was like 35 in the country. And then in the world, I was like maybe, what was I? 56 in the world. So you can literally go look up on the leaderboard and see me in the top 100. Like, I was putting in work. Like, that's how nasty I was at Fight Night. You know what I mean? And I haven't played another boxing game that has come close to boxing since then. But Esports Boxing Club is literally bringing that back out of me. You know what I'm saying? Like boxing in video games is what I do. You know what I'm saying? Like, that, this is what I do. I watch enough boxing. I can mirror it onto a game. I don't care what nobody says. I'm going to use my strengths and my abilities as much as I possibly can. If I got an inside fighter, I'm going to try my best to be on the inside and work the inside. You know what I mean? Pop the jab if I got to. Same thing if I got an inside fighter. Or if I got somebody who's balanced in both. He can play inside and outside. And then same as that time, he could stay on the outside and pop the jab and keep them honest. You know what I mean? I can do that on Fight Night, or I can do that probably in Esports Boxing Club. I like that. Then on top of that, they have an extensive list of official licensed fighters that are coming there, especially like with Muhammad Ali and one of my favorite female boxers, Clarissa Shields. I love Clarissa Shields. You got Joe Louis, a legend. You got Muhammad Ali, a legend. I'm not sure if Tyson's in there, but I saw Deontay Wilder being in there. Tyson Fury is in there. Kell Brook is in there. Who else is in there? Sean Porter is in there. I'm not sure. Keith Thurman is making it in there, but Caleb Plant is in there. Not sure Triple G gonna be in there. I think he's in there. I'm not sure, but those people that I named off for sure are going to be in there. They're in there. It's crazy. Look at the player models and watching them sculpt the faces and seeing it being put into the game, and it's crazy. It's really, really crazy. Like, I've yet to see a studio, a AAA studio, to really put in that time. You know what I'm saying? And I called out EA on it because I just thought it was funny how EA would call not call, but EA would put out a statement saying that, oh, another Fight Night game is in development. When you start to see esports boxing clubs start to, get the wheels turning, which the wheels have been turning already, but the fact that you guys are so afraid to lose your top spot as a boxing game, you guys do something like that to try to reclaim your spot. Just give it up, EA. Just give the shit up. Let somebody else have the title for once. I mean, unwillingly, you gave the title to 2K for basketball because Live is trash. We're going to talk about that a little later. But you gave that up to 2K because y'all couldn't compete. Y'all haven't dropped anything since Live 19, and we're on 22, about to go to 23 in a little bit. You know what I mean? So, y'all gave that spot up. There's nothing that y'all can do. But the simple fact that y'all are trying to reclaim the throne for boxing, just sit down. Just sit down somewhere. You might as well just sit down. Because you won't be able to put out anything and compete with Esports Boxing Club. You just won't. The Esports Boxing Club has done more in time and has listened to us more, which that's another key point, and has listened to us more as far as, the input on the game and who should we have on the roster and stuff like that. You know what I mean? EA don't care nothing about that. If there's a way that they can monetize, they're going to do it. You guys, EA always finds a way to somehow ruin the experience by monetizing it. Y'all do that every time, and it makes me sick. I can't stand it. I hate the fact that you guys go about that every year. You always try to find a way to monetize it. You lose track of what the stake is at hand here, and that is bringing back a title or bringing back a sport, boxing per se, and just giving the people what they want. So you're going to find a way to monetize it, put greed into it, and then completely just ruin the entire image. I hate that. I really hate that about EA. I can't stand it. But Esports Boxing Club, the reason why I'm behind them so much, pause on that, is because they listen. You know what I mean? I love a developer that listens. You know what I'm saying? They were like, I remember they put out a video about some of the player models and the punches and stuff like that being all wonky and weird looking, and I remember they went back and they fixed it and they touched up on it, then showed it up in a follow-up video for like a development blog or whatever. But it just shows that they're listening, they care, they were allowing us to make the game great. So as a result of that, they're going to listen to our feedback, and I'm pretty sure they know how to decipher who to listen to and who not to listen to, because the casual fan isn't gonna put together a great boxing game. A hardcore fan that loves the sport of boxing, lives, eats, sleeps it day in and day out, or just is a hardcore boxing fan, and they can give you details about boxing as if they actually stepped inside of the ring themselves. You know what I mean? That kind of input, they value that. And it shows. It really, really shows. You can see the footage. You know what I'm saying? Another thing that I was looking for, they added ragdoll knockdowns. And it looks really good. It has some structure to it. It looks really, really, really good. It looks really good. They got liver shots on there. You know what I'm saying? Liver shot to sit you down. You know what I mean? The whole body deformation thing. It's not really up quite to fighting at round 4 and fighting at champions level. But, they're still working on that. But either way, I'm really glad at where they are. And I really want to see. I really want to see where it goes. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna closely continue to follow them, and I feel like they'll. I really feel like they'll. I really feel like they got something in the tuck, man. They got something really ready to go. Like I'm really confident in esports boxing, man. For real. Like I think they can. I think they can pull something together. But I'm really proud of them and how far they came. For real. Moving on. So my God, man. So recently I picked Madden up back again. I got bored. I was like, I didn't really feel like playing my friends anymore. So I picked Madden back up, and I made me a theme team. No money spent. Let me make sure I reiterate that. No money spent. Okay. Just whatever I had at that time whoever I had at that time, because I didn't sell my team. I held on to who I had. So whoever I had, I took them, sold them, sold them, did what I needed to do. And I made the Eagles theme team. Of course, I got Jalen Hurts, and I think LeGarrette Blount was on there. Just whoever played for the Eagles, they were there. So I put everybody that was there. I think I was a 91 overall wise before I took everybody down, and then I put the new ones up. I'm still a 91, but that's just with all Eagles. Yeah, I got bored, so I did that or whatever. Still not really all the way done yet, but do a little bit of a grind, but I got everybody who I need. But I will say this, man. I was scrolling around through Twitter, man, and they be letting Ron Moody have it. You know what I'm saying? I personally don't find Ron Moody to be that intoxicating. You know what I mean? Like, the guy makes firm points. He makes great points. And, I just don't see why people rag on him because he gives off this narcissistic attitude. And I really feel like when you doing these videos, you have to be narcissistic in a way, especially when you're deep diving on something that is pretty much wrong. You know what I mean? The way that Madden does their products and how they do their fans and how they go about just monetizing everything. You have to be kind of narcissistic. You have to be narcissistic about it. Because I do it sometimes. You know what I mean? Because, you're not going to tell me what good EA has done, because what good they have done, that gets overshadowed by all the bad that they've done. You know what I'm saying? Like, to this day, I still pin the reason why 2K football is not here now. I still pin that on them. You know what I'm saying? Because they're afraid of competition. Somebody in my comment section said that it was actually the NFL that didn't like that 2K football was doing what they were doing. I don't know. I was like, I really want to see if there was more to that, but that story's still developing. But a lot of the good that y'all try to say about EA, it gets overshadowed by all the bad and all the greed that they do. We've seen what they've done to football over the years. We've seen it. You know what I mean? Some things always got to constantly be patched. Somebody always finds a glitch somewhere. It's sad. Clinton is always blocking people left and right because they don't want to he don't want to hear the constructive criticism. You know what I mean? Like, now, don't get me wrong. I know that there's a difference between constructive criticism and then there's just plain old disrespect. You know what I mean? When Rex was in office, when Rex was there, people were saying, stuff like, "Oh, I hope you and your family and your kids get AIDS," and all kinds of shit. And, I don't agree with that. If you did shit like that, or if you're doing shit like that, especially to Clint, you're a fucking cornball. I can't get behind that. The worst thing I would do is say to you is that you suck at your job. That's the only thing I'll say. You know what I mean? I would never tackle another man's livelihood and tell him that, you and your family hope they all die in a car crash or some stupid shit like that. I would never say no dumb shit like that. Never. Never would I ever say no shit like that. And if you're one of my subscribers and you do that, you should stop. You know what I mean? Either that, if you don't want to continue to do that because of your fucked up ass reasonings, then you should unsubscribe to me, because I don't fuck with that. You know what I mean? I keep it strictly on Madden and leave it on Madden. And the way that they make Madden, if they suck at it, I'll tell them that they suck. But other than that, that's it. I don't take it no further than that. But the stands of Madden are crazy. It's really, really crazy. I can't see how somebody can take time out of their day to watch a Twitch stream of the Madden NFL Championship Series, and they're running salary cap squads, but literally just running 3 plays. Come on, man. Like, that's not entertaining, man. None of that shit to me is entertaining at all whatsoever. Like, I don't find none of that shit to be entertaining at all. You know what I mean? Like, that's just sick to me. I can't get with that. I just can't. You know what I mean? Staying on EA for a second. Like I said earlier, we was gonna talk about NBA Live. Honestly, man, can NBA Live make a comeback? I think they can, but they have to get some shit right. But with the faith that I have in EA, I don't think that they can. I just don't really think they can get it together, and I don't think that they can get it together in time for them to still try to have this competition or some kind of pull. I was playing Live 19 like last month, right? And my God, man, that game is it is animation driven. Like, custom sliders have to be put into place in order to make the gameplay smooth. That game just has so many animations that don't make sense. You know what I mean? Like, okay, give you an example, like rebounds, right? Rebounds really aren't guaranteed to you regardless of where you're positioned at. You know what I mean? I could be boxed out on somebody and try to grab for a rebound by pressing triangle. Most of the times when I go for rebounds, I literally don't even press anything. I just let my guy do what he's going to do. Most of the time when a ball goes up and it's geared to be a miss, I can already see my guy gearing up for the rebound. It's like, how the hell do you know that the shot is going to be a miss as soon as it leaves my hand? You understand what I'm saying? Like, how is that possible? In 2K, anytime a shot is about to get missed, I'm able to jump for it. Hopefully I'm in the right positions. Let's say I'm in the right position and I hit triangle. I can literally jump for it and get the rebound. Or I can just let the ball bounce and come to me, whichever one I want to do. But more times than none, you're going to hit triangle as you're boxing out to grab the rebound. See, in live, you can't really do that. Sometimes it doesn't matter where your positioning is. The loose ball logic, that is the most terrible loose ball logic I've ever seen. I've seen guys just walk to the ball. I've seen them literally walk to the ball and then don't even attempt to try to grab the damn ball. They'll just literally try to just reach down and just pick the ball up as if nobody's around. Then sometimes when you're trying to move, given that the defense is tight the way it is, when you're trying to switch directions, you can't necessarily switch in directions like you want to, because as soon as you do, you get stripped, and it's an animation that you can't even get out of because it's queued up. You know what I mean? The dunking, literally, that's all I see myself doing, just dunking all day long. Shooting the ball is terrible. Free throws is god-awful. You know what I mean? It's just so, it's such a slow and jerky motion that in your mind, because of how you were, coaxed into playing basketball, especially with 2K, you would think that the smoother the release, the better, right? Absolutely wrong. Like I said, when I was playing Live 10, I found myself over-timing a lot of jumpers in order for them to go in. And I see that a lot in Live 19 still. You know what I mean? So it's just a lot of things that they got to do, bro. Like, they've got to get away from just completely animation-driven, gameplay. I might go up for a layup or a dunk or something, and I can see my guy literally have his animation altered in midair to fit the animation that's supposed to come up, which is a block. I hate that. Stop dictating the game for me through animations. Let me do what I'm going to do. You know what I'm saying? If I make this move and it's a smart move, the best move I can do, give me that. Just give me that outcome. You know what I mean? It was a smart move, the best move I could do. Give me that bucket. But no, what you're gonna do is you're gonna try to twist and turn my guy to try to make him, do something boneheaded, and it results in a block, and then I get a negative teammate grade behind it. Like, come on, man. Like, I really hate that. I really hate the fact that it's built like that. I hate it. You know what I mean? Like I said, custom sliders are the only thing that can save that game. But if Live doesn't get away from all this heavy animation that they've been doing, and none of it is smooth. Let me remind you, none of the animations are smooth. From the dribble moves to to the shots to the dunks, it just looks so jerky and just so animated. Like, you can't, like, there's no free flowing smooth animation. I don't mind the animation if it's smooth, but at times, bro, it literally looks like it literally looks like a slasher presentation at times. Like, you can tell that they mocap that and they didn't know how to smoothly put it in there. Like, it looks terrible. You know what I mean? If Live doesn't fix these things, I think the Live series is doomed. I really think the Live series is doomed if they don't fix these things. But like I said, if they listen to the wrong people, they're going to forever be doomed. But speaking of NBA Live, we're going to stay on the NBA for a second. Yo, like that, I don't know what y'all thought of that All-Star game, man. The All-Star game is pretty good, especially Steph Curry, man. He was shooting the lights out like a motherfucker, boy. I was like, nigga, what? Like, every time this man was like putting up a jumper, that shit was going in. Swishing it at that too. Like, I used to not like Stephen Curry, but now I'm kind of like on the fence about him now. You know what I mean? Because of course I didn't like him because just all you can do is shoot threes, like, but. People say, that, he has handles, which he does. He can attack the rack, given that if he could find the room. But if the defense is tight, he's not getting through there. But, I just hated how, you can shoot threes from anywhere and it goes in. I hated that about him. But, after seeing the All-Star game, man, I kind of like Curry a little bit now because of just the whole simple fact of, like, man, just having fun. You know what I mean? That's what basketball is. That's what playing sports is at the end of the day, just having fun. That's what it is, essentially. A bunch of big kids just having fun and getting paid to have fun, and that, play the sport of basketball, play the sport that they love. You know what I mean? So seeing Steph Curry do that, man, I was like, maybe Steph Curry's all right, man. I was like, maybe he's just, maybe he's all right. Maybe I got him pegged all the wrong way. Pause on that too. That dunk contest, Jesus, man. Oh my God. That dunk contest was terrible. That was the worst dunk contest I've possibly seen. Shaq said the same damn thing. The look on Shaq's face was crazy. A lot of people, so I think if you log on Twitter, you see a lot of people saying the same thing. A lot of people saying that dunk contest was terrible. I really thought that Jalen Green was gonna do something. Yeah, people. I think Jalen Green was the one that took out the phone and had his NFT playing on the phone screen. I'm just like, what the hell is he going to do with that? But he takes it off, gives it to Dominique Wilkins, and he does something. He does some dunk. That's how you know like it was bad. I couldn't remember what dunk he did. I just remember the part that he took the phone out, the necklace that was on the phone, and had his NFT playing. When he posterized the guy, gave it to Dominique Wilkins, and then did some dunk that he couldn't even get. I was just like, this dunk contest is terrible. Like it is awful. The last great dunk contest we had was when it was Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine. That's probably like the last great. That was like the last great dunk contest. And then I think it was one more. I think that same year J. Cole was there, and Dennis Smith Jr. was there. I think that was probably the last. That was probably the last great dunk contest. But the Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine dunk off was great. You know what I'm saying? And that was probably the last little bit. But I want to see John Morant in the dunk contest. I really feel like John Morant should be in the dunk contest because I'm trying to tell folks about John Morant, bro. Like John Morant got some bunnies for sure. Like I've been trying to tell him about John Morant a lot because John Morant is different. You know what I mean? But I don't think if we don't see John Morant next year, we'll definitely never see LeBron because I've been wanting to see LeBron since his Cavalier days. I've been wanting to see him in the dunk contest for a while. I've been wanting to see who else. Blake Griffin was there. Dwight Howard was there. Who else was there? Who else? Well, for sure I want to see LeBron there, but at this point, that is never going to happen. That is never going to happen. But I want to see John Morant in the dunk contest next year. You know what I mean? And my God, if you're going to be the dunk contest, practice, bro. At least practice or do something. All this, like, we going to just do it on the spot, make it up on the spot and try to knock it down. Like, there were too many attempts. Like, there were way too many attempts, bro. Like at that point, once you get to, like, your fourth attempt, like, and they didn't clarify it as an attempt. Only if you tried to dunk it and it didn't go in, then that's when they said, okay, that's an attempt. But you got a lot of guys that are fumbling, trying to get the takeoff right, trying to get the grip right, and after a while, it just loses its sting. After a while, you know what I mean? So that dunk contest, man, you can throw all that to trash. But however, though, that 3-point contest, though, I didn't think Karl Anthony Towns was gonna pull that off. I really didn't think so, man. I was like, wow, this dude got range. I just knew Trae Young was gonna just do something. He didn't do nothing. Luke Kennard was all right. Who else was there? Who else was there? I think I'm trying to think who else was there. Yeah, Luke Kennard, Karl Anthony Towns. I think you had Patty Mills. He was there. Who else? I'm trying to figure out who else was there. All I know is Karl Anthony Towns was knocking them down, and they I ain't gonna lie, they stay innovative with the 3-point contest with the Moneyball rack, and then you got the 3-point, the Mountain Dew quote unquote, or the Sprite 3-point ball or whatever that you hit, and they give you extra 3 points or 4 points, whatever. But I thought that was kind of cool. I thought it was really really cool, but Karl Anthony Towns got range, man, for sure. And I think we should put some respect in Karl Anthony Towns' name, for real. But definitely, that was definitely a good show. Trying to think, man, what else is on the docket, man? Gosh, I really don't know, man. I think that about wraps it up, man. I really wanted to make this episode a little bit longer, man. But good God, man, I need to get my podcast topics and try to pick them out as I go. You know what I mean? So I normally try to do it like the day before, but I kind of improv this episode. So if y'all enjoyed, man, I really appreciate y'all. If y'all enjoyed, man, I really really appreciate. I love the support y'all been showing. Also, make sure you hit the like button, comment, subscribe, share the word, spread links, because you know how I do. Tell my black folks out there, man, make sure y'all keep doing your thing, man. Just continue to be positive. Rise and overcome all this madness out here, man. You know what I'm saying? Keep doing you. Keep striving to be the best version of you. And, yeah, man, I really want to see my people make it out here, man, for real. Because, it's wicked out here right now. So, like I said, man, I really want y'all to just keep striving, keep doing your thing. and just keep being the best version of you, man. Like I said, that's the only thing I can bring to y'all, man. Because I would want somebody to tell me the same thing. So let me at least just do my part and give y'all that same encouragement. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap this thing on up, man. Yeah, this is probably the shortest podcast episode I had, man. But definitely next week we're gonna come with some heat. Yeah, like I said, man, make sure you like button, comment, subscribe, share the word, spread links. You know how to do. Uh, all the other DSPs, wherever this is on, click like, subscribe, whatever applies to that platform. Hit that, whatever will bring you back to watching these episodes, man. I am mentally drained, so I'm gonna go and get up out of here, man. Yeah, it's your boy DiVine, and I'm signing out. Peace.